yeah, a few days ago, it might have been a week ago, I don't know, I can't remember now. I've been really busy, so I haven't been able to show you the finished product. And this is going to be, it's going to be a series of videos because I've filmed so much footage. Like, I've got hours of footage, and a lot of it's junk, a lot of it's just, yeah, gibberish, but I do want to keep some of it and let you see it, but mostly hear, because hopefully, yeah, in my mind I've got some pearls of wisdom to translate to you, to transfer to you and inform you. Yeah, some of it's just talking shit, but it's mostly just shooting the breeze and discussing certain things about, generally about society, and addressing and qualifying some of the comments that I made in the last video, because I did call the ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Commission, a bunch of communists, and so I just want to address that, because what I don't want people to think is that I'm of any political leaning, because I'm not, okay? But there are some fundamental issues that I have with the left, as I do with the right, okay? And people are going to say, oh, you're a fence sitter, you're in the middle. No, I'm not. I'm not anything, okay? I'm just common sense, pragmatist, and the whole way that politics seems to be handled, like the polarity of left versus right, is just, you know what? I finally figured out what it is. It's a game, okay? It's a game played by those two sides, and they profit from it, okay? I think that's essentially what's going on. They profit from this game, this toing and froing, and, you know, argy-bargy between them. That's how they, you know, I think that's how they prosper. But anyway, I won't go too far into it now. You'll see in the video when you hear me talk. It discusses certain issues, and so I'll clarify one thing. I used to be a rabid socialist, okay, full bore, voted Labor Party all my life, but that changed once. Once essentially I came to my senses and realised that there were some serious issues with the left, which I supported wholeheartedly for a very, very long time, most of my life probably. But anyway, so you'll hear that in the video. But anyway, so I've completed the mechanical, although I have got a set of Jin-Ho locking tuners on order to replace these tuners, because these tuners really are crap. They're alright, you know, but they're really cheap. So I'm gonna, and Jin-Ho is the company in Korea that makes Wilkinsons. Pardon me. So that they're essentially Wilkinson locking tuners. Although I don't know if Mr. Wilkinson would want to admit that, or I don't know. So what I did was I replaced the output jack with a switchcraft, which is standard Fender. Switchcraft 3-way switch, standard Fender and Gibson, I think. Kept the two pots because I think they're really quite good. At least they're branded. Yeah, so I don't know what brand they are. I just could not find that that stamp on anything on it on Google. I put the two Wilkinson pickups in. Let's see, what else did I do? Put the extra string tree on, or the second string tree on, and now let's see, we'll turn the volume. Whoop. Whoop, nothing happening. What's going on here? Back in a sec. Alright, round two. I don't know if you can hear that. So that's the middle, that's both. That's front. And that's the rear, so it works. Yeah. It's still in tune. Yeah. So these tunings aren't that bad, or roughly in tune. So after I don't know, I might, what I filmed I might make it into two and split it up into 2 videos and maybe even 3. I don't know how much I'll keep. It's going to take me a long time to edit this because I've got so much footage. But what I'm going to do is, while I'm waiting for the gin hose to turn up, I'm going to take these strings off, take the tuners off, string trees off, and I'm going to paint the headstock. And I'm going to brand it with my own brand, yeah, because yeah. So I'm going to paint it this Arctic white on the headstock on the top, and yeah, have my own brand guitar, because you know I have customized it to basically what I want it to be. So without further ado, here's part 2, so part 1 really, yeah, part 2 really, but part 1 of the Jazzmaster upgrade. So, hello again, see you later. Carrying on from yesterday, I've decided what I'm going to do as far as changing parts out. First of all, I'd like to apologise for getting that 00022 versus 00047 capacitor issue wrong. I haven't done electrics on a guitar for a long time, so yeah, I got that arse about. So sorry, although no doubt my detractors will be saying, oh, there you go, you don't know what you're talking about, told you so. Yeah, whatever. Now the reason why I'm going to film this and show it is because there's a whole bunch of peanuts who reckon if they don't actually see me doing something, that I'm bullshitting, and that, you know, I must have got someone else to do it. You know, someone else must have done it, and I just paid them or whatever, and then I show that everybody what I'm doing, what I'm capable of, what I've done. So you know, I really don't give a rat's ass, but I do, because you know you get sick of listening to that crap. So I'm going to film it exactly what I'm doing. So what I'm going to change out is I'm going to change out the output jack. I've got a switchcraft, which is standard Fender equipment. I'm going to leave the pots and the capacitor. I'm going to change the 3-way switch. I've got a switchcraft, again 3-way switch, standard Fender. The string through ferrules, which just fall out because they've got no spline. I've actually got string through ferrules with spline. These are 8mm and these are 8.3, so that's perfect. They'll just fit in there nicely, and hopefully I won't crack the clear coat, which is a very distinct possibility because I've done it before. I'm going to change out the pickups for Wilkinson. Wilkinson aren't anything special, but they are good. You know, there's a lot of people that use them. They are good, and then they're not expensive. Mr. Wilkinson is a British guy. He does get it made in China, but hey, so I don't like these open things that are just open to everything. And, you know, they're magnets. They just collect crap after a while. Let's see what else I'm going to change. So I've got string trees as well. I've got some spares, so I'll put another string tree on there because it does need it. The tuners, I had a look at the tuners and they're okay, you know. Yeah, they're fine. So yeah, I'll leave the tuners for now anyway. But what I'm going to do first of all is what's it called? Shield the back of the pick guard totally, because at the moment, where's that thing? At the moment, you've only they come just shielded with the control area, just a little bit of shielding. And what I'll use to clean that up, I could just use methylated spirits, but I'm just going to use lighter fluid, which is naphtha, and it's non-residual. I'll just clean that up a bit. I should probably have something over the surface of mine because Yes, it's quite, there's a lot of fibres that come off this, so I think I might do that. I'll go get, no, I've got a rag over there. It's hot and it's humid, but I've got to wear this hat to hide my ugly head. So I'll just do that again because there's still some fibres on here. You know, it does, you know, it's not absolutely 100% crucial that you get it perfectly clean, but you know, a bit anal like that. So I'm going to take this tape off, hopefully it'll come off in one hit. No. So this is going to be pretty boring, no doubt I'll speed this up. You know what, I won't speed it up, I'm just going to say something. I'll add a troll from Jazzmaster. Yeah. He's obviously not looked at my channel. Because I had a look at his channel and never posted a video. It's funny how almost virtually all the people who give me crap, just chucking this on the floor, about, you know, stuff about my opinions and about what I say and whatnot and do, people, especially with regards to, well, with regards to YouTube, is that most of the trolls and that have never made a video. They've never bothered to. You know, it's a lot easier just to hang shit on people than to actually, you know, try and do that, because I think that most YouTubers you know, a lot more understanding. They know what it takes to make a video. You know, just the filming, the time in editing, converting the files, uploading. You know, we're talking half a day, you know, for a 20-minute video, really. And if you've never made one, you don't realise that, and you think, oh, you know, this guy's video is shit, or he's effing, whoever that idiot, I can't remember who that idiot was, said that I was effing boring. Well, hey, you know what? So be it. I mean, this is what pisses me off. Instead of just going, this guy's effing boring, I'm not going to watch him, she has to leave the comment that I'm effing boring. Well, well, you're an effing moron, because if I'm effing boring, why are you watching? You dimwit? You know, like, who is it? If you've not, I'll give a shout out to a few channels, because there are some really good channels, and they deserve patronage. Like with regards to guitars and guitar repair, Rose's String Works. He's an older chap, and his specialty is what's called mandolins. He's a real mandolin, a brilliant mandolin player, but he works on all stringed instruments, everything, you name it, violins, guitars, even electric guitars, which is it's not his specialty. String instruments, acoustic instruments are his specialty. But yeah, he's very, very accomplished. He's been doing it for a long time, and he absolutely got slayed by a bunch of trolls because of how he did a certain thing, which is the way that and he said it, he's been doing that for a long time. And the poor guy, like, he did a video after that, because what he did was he worked on a guitar with the neck unsupported. And people said, what are you doing? You're going to bend the neck and all this, and just idiots who really don't know what they're talking about, you know. And the poor guy just took it to heart, because he's a nice guy, you know. And he did his video, I think the next day, and just said, am I wasting my time? Do people actually want to listen to what I have to say? You know, and a real existential moment. And of course he got tons of support, because, you know, he's a nice guy. And I've got to figure out how I'm going to cut this. Now this stuff is not, this stuff is the cheap stuff that really is made for gardeners, which they use to stop slugs and snails. So yeah, I didn't realise that. It didn't say anything about whether the glue was conductive or not. So it doesn't really matter, because this is actually literally just a shield. It doesn't have to be doesn't have to all be get this in the right direction. No, the whole thing doesn't have to be conductive together, if you know what I mean. What I will do is that I've still got this bit that I got. That's what I've got left from Stew Mac, which does have a conductive glue. So I'll just use that to connect all the bits together, if you know what I mean. And that'll make it all. And I'll check it, because one of the tools that every guitar repair person or anyone who works on an electric guitar should have is one of these, a multimeter, to at least check continuity. And then, if you're having trouble with if you're not getting sound out of your guitar, you can check where the problem is, which is so you can check continuity and whatever you want with it. I suppose some people would say that it's a bit geeky, but you can use it for a lot of things once you learn how to use it. And there's a lot of really good tutorial videos on how to use a multimeter. It really is an essential if you're working on electric guitars, because they're electric. It's just pretty obvious. I was saying, duh, dipshit. So I don't blame you if you make that comment. Hate to state the obvious. But as far as what I was saying before with regards to trolls, the majority of them have never made a video, and they just seem to take pleasure in hanging shit on people. Now, as far as me being boring, well, I'm actually quite the raconteur. I can shut up, women. I do get laid, believe it or not. Contrary to popular belief. So I'd actually like to have a proper conversation with her and just find out how boring she is. Usually what you hate in someone else is probably something that you don't like about yourself. You like to project that hate onto someone else rather than addressing the problem that is with you. So she's probably eminently boring. Probably, I won't say it. I should, but best to keep my mouth shut rather than get in trouble, because we know how sensitive YouTube is with regards to anything to do with anything, pretty much. These days with politically correct culture, man, it's going crazy. It really has. I've even thought of starting a political party, the anti-PC party. Just with a platform of just fighting political correctness, because it just shits me. It really does. Gives me the irrits. That's a very irrits. That's actually a British term. That's not Australian. Here in Australia, if something's pissing you off, you say that it's giving you the shits. And PC culture is just social justice warriors. They're just they're outraged. They can't. I don't think. Man, my eyes are going, eh? They can't wait to be outraged about something. They've got to be outraged. They're outraged. Oh my God. The outrage. Yeah, but anyway, the trolls. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I watch videos and you know, I might, 100% totally disagree with what that person thinks or believes, but if I think there's merit in watching the video, I'll watch it anyway, because, as I said before, people put an effort into it, and I am open, unlike, this is the thing about the PC and the social justice warriors, they're totally closed-minded. They refuse to even consider it. They believe that they're right about everything and everyone else is wrong. And the other thing I really don't like about them is that it would appear that the end justifies the means. So because they're fighting the good fight, they can just do the most unspeakable, say and do, like Antifa. What a pack of assholes, just really, and they're just fake people, they're just scumbags, assholes. I'll probably get deplatformed for saying that, because I reckon, won't say why. Yeah, but I really don't care. If you can't say the truth, if you can't speak the truth, there's a serious problem with society if you can't speak the truth, for fear of offending someone. It's like, what did I can't remember what was his name. I really do love his work, and he just, really does make people look stupid. I've forgotten his name now. He said, the truth doesn't care about your feelings. I think that's probably, and I've used that a fair bit, the truth does not care about your feelings, Oh, you can't say that. Well, it's true, isn't it? Yeah, but you can't say that. Fair dinkum. People have become, you know what? And people goes, oh, he's an old guy sprouting on about his generation. Let me tell you, man. People become just so soft, like really sensitive and soft, and it's not like. And I just want to point something out here. I'm an animal lover, right? I don't like seeing cruelty to animals. I don't even believe in farming. All right, I'll be honest. And I've lived on a farm. I don't like farming animals. Vegetables is a different story, because I think it's actually just cruel. Okay, the whole concept. And people would say, oh, you're a vegan, you're a greenie. No, I'm not. And Joe Rogan agrees with me. He's of the same opinion. He'd rather go out, hunt, and respectfully kill that animal. Because some of the shit that goes on, like, people say, oh, hunters are just cruel and despicable and all this and everything. And, yeah, alright, so we've got a massive, here in the state that I live in, Queensland, we've got a massive feral animal problem, alright? And I've got friends who own farms, right? So I know what I'm talking about, because they tell me all about it. They got farms, and what happens is that, especially the ones, because we've got a lot of national parks, right? Now, the ones who've got land, who own land adjacent to national parks, what happens is that, postman, or post lady, I'll be back in a sec. Sorry about that. I finally got my, it's taken months. They probably had, yeah, got a bug in here. What is that thing doing? Go away. Finally got my DNZ Game Reaper Savage Model 25 scope mounts, which I've been waiting for a long time, because the where the holes are on that rifle is so far apart. It's just, really hard to mount anything on it. Where am I? Where's what I do? This bit. I don't know. I'll go around there. Alright, so I'll get the old. Sorry about all the noise, but yeah. Oh, I'm thirsty. Mineral water. There you go. It's not alcohol. Oh man, it is getting hot. Alright, so now I will. Okay, being someone with a big mouth, I've been silent for too long, so I've got to say something. I just want to clear up something that some people would have heard me say yesterday about the ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Commission, that they're a pack of communists. Now, people would say, well, that's a very nasty political statement, and what have you got against communists? I don't have a problem. Well, I do. I believe, I'll tell you what I believe. Socialism, right, the ideal of socialism is, I think is excellent. I think it's an amazing, wonderful ideal. It's, you know, when you think about it, you know, share the wealth, you know, and so forth, which is the main, you know, there is no, everything is centralised and everything, no one owns anything, and these are, you know, the basic tenets of socialism are fantastic. There's only one problem. And the problem is that Mr. Marx, he never really, he never realised that human beings are, generally speaking, scumbags, and you know, his manifesto is great. It's a fantastic work. The ideals in it that he espouses are fantastic, are really brilliant, but essentially very in line with, you know, and I'm going to be controversial here, with what Jesus taught. You know, help the poor, don't be greedy, all those things. There's only one problem. Yeah, you know, as I said, socialism is the idea of socialism is fantastic. There's only one problem. Once you involve humans, it all goes out the window, because humans are, you know, greedy, they're malicious, they're avaricious, they're, you know, jealous, they're petty, you know, all those, all that, and so that's essentially why socialism will never work. Maybe, I don't know, maybe in some cultures where that ideal is very familiar and you know, maybe normal, how their culture has always operated. If that's the case, yeah, then they probably already were socialists. But as a formal political system, it doesn't work. Well, it hasn't worked anywhere that I'm aware of. You know, all that happens is that you get an elite who hoard the wealth and get filthy rich and only help their friends, and because what's happened pretty much in every socialist and communist government is that there's just zero transparency. You can't even tell, like the CCP in China, right? My question with the CCP is, who's in charge? Do they even know who's running the show? Does anyone? You know? Really? It's so opaque. Their system of government is so opaque, you know? And, I mean, look what it's led to. How many people under Mao when he did the Cultural Revolution, how many millions of Chinese died because of that? What he essentially did was he forced, all the able-bodied people off the land and into the cities to work in factories to start an industrial revolution. Meanwhile, the people that were left out there in the country who couldn't work the fields, who were too old or too young or whatever, just died. And they had to be sacrificed. Well, they sacrificed themselves for the fatherland, you know. I mean, the end justifies the means. Where else? I mean, the Russian, the whole thing that happened in Russia between, the Reds and the White Russians and Trotsky, and I mean, it was pretty, bloodthirsty. A lot of people died there. Amusing thing that I like to point out to people, because they say, the Conservatives are all fascists, and I say, right, so what are you a socialist? And they say, yeah, I believe in socialism. I say, well, are you aware that the Nazi Party was a socialist party? That Hitler was a socialist? That Mussolini was one of the biggest socialists of all time, communists. For a long time he fought for it was called the International, which is the International Socialist Cause. Yeah. So he was an out-and-out socialist. Yeah. Some of the biggest scumbags of all time were socialists. So, yeah, where did that get Germany? Because the Nazi Party, Nazi is short for NSDAP, which is the National Socialist Workers' Party of Germany. German. NSDAP, National Socialist German Workers' Party. Yeah, so when people talk, that capitalism is bad, well, yeah, it is. It is. It's not that any, no, I don't believe that any system of government is bad. I mean, Paul Keating, he used to say, one of our former Prime Ministers, he used to say that the best form of government is a benevolent dictatorship. He's probably right. Now, what was I going to say? Yeah, as far as systems of government, people say, capitalism is so bad. Well, yeah, it is. There's an old saying, and I believe it. The worst form of government is capitalism, except for all the others. So there is no good way. There is no good system of government, when it comes down to it. They all suck. Not because it's a bad system, not because the concepts are bad, it's because people are bad. That's why. People are scumbags, especially, what's that saying? Power corrupts. I mean, there was now we're going back in time. A long, long time ago, I read a book by a gentleman who, I think he was a professor. He did of sociology or something or other. I can't remember now. Or psychology. Anyway, he did what he did was he did a study of corruption in police forces around the world, and he made one statement, and that was that corruption is endemic to police forces. So basically, that means that every police force has got corruption. Politics is exactly the same. When you've got people who can wield power over, the whole nation, yeah, they're going to be corrupt. To a certain degree. Not everybody, but, So, the pick guard is complete. Now, what I have to do is, What I'm going to do now, so what I might do is, don't need that anymore. I'm not going to connect all the bits together with the continuity tape because it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to have continuity. It's just a massive shield. So yeah, I'm not going to be grounding it to anything. So yeah, it doesn't need to be. Although I know someone might say, "Ooh, yeah, you need to ground it." No, you don't. It's just a big shield. Like it's literally like a shield. Pardon me. I'm going to take this thing off. There's nothing I hate worse than looking at a guitar where people have ripped the clear protection off, but they haven't removed any of the knobs, and there's all this plastic bits hanging around it. Yeah, it's just lazy. So I'm going to take that off first because it doesn't need it. Oh, Fender, free online lessons. You know. Nothing's for free, especially from a company like Fender. I find it hard to believe that they offer anything for free. Yeah, back when it was Leo Fenders, when he actually owned it, still owned it. Yeah, I believe that, but nah. And you know, you got people like CBS and whatever having owned it. Alright, now we are getting to the nitty gritty. Okay, so try and position this camera. Come on. Hey. Damn thing. In a way that I can see what I'm doing. This is going to be a sort of a bit in the way, but yeah. Alrighty. Now, what am I going to do? So, I need to desolder this thing. So I would actually just use these glasses. And I will place, I need something to protect. I need some protection. I'll use this little piece of paper that I got here. Because when you're soldering or whatever, yeah, the solder does splatter. So I'll be back in a sec because I've just got to turn the soldering iron on. So back in a sec.